Welcome to another episode of Spinal Life Takeaways, bite-sized segments jam-packed full of information designed for you at home or on the go. Today's all about support coordination, so let's get started. Today we have Renata, a highly skilled support coordinator here at Spinal Life Australia. How are you going?
Good, thank you. Hi.
So today Renata's going to take us through how a support coordinator can help us navigate the NDIS and make the most out of our funding, as well as how to choose a support coordinator that works for us. So what is support coordination?
So supports coordination is basically linking in the participant to all of the supports and services that are beneficial to them and their situation in accordance with their NDIS plan.
Okay, so you would be looking at mainly streamlining pretty much everyone that they're in touch with, all down to just you, so they only have to come and speak to one person to help navigate their own.
That's right. So a supports coordinator is the link between the participant and the NDIS, as well as the link between them and all of their providers, including therapists, personal support providers. So we take all of that anxiety and tension away from them and we organise that for them, because it can be really uncertain at times trying to navigate the NDIS, what you can claim, what your plan actually means, what can I actually pay for. So a coordinator actually takes all of that information and then goes and helps to organise the supports with the participant and what they need, so we can find the relevant supports that's beneficial to them.
Okay, and as far as Spinal Life support coordination, what sets us out from other providers?
Our service predominantly works with participants with a spinal cord injury, so we've got a lot of knowledge in that area. So we already know a certain amount about what that injury means for them, what their situation may look like, and the supports that they will be needing. So then it's a matter of making sure that they've got choice and control over the supports that they get. So we always do a lot of research into that to find out what they're actually needing. And then we go back to them and talk with them about, does this work for you or will that work for you? And then we engage with the provider.
So we have all of this industry knowledge, but also we have the ability to go, outside of obviously Spinal Life Australia. We're able to find resources that are for everybody.
Yes, that's right. So it's not about what I would want for them. It's about what the participant wants. And most participants have providers, ranging in, 3 to 10, and they're from all different areas. So we just sort of bring that all together and make sure everybody is communicating about that participant and that plan, and making sure it all fits within their budget. Are they overspending, underspending? What can we do? What can't we do? And if we need to fix it, then we provide that link to the NDIS and we do the forms and reports to take that anxiety away as well.
That's a lot, but sounds amazing.
It is, but it's a great job.
So who is best suited to using this service?
Anyone with an NDIS plan, basically. So if you're new to NDIS and you've just registered, then supports coordination is a really good thing to have in the plan initially, because the supports coordinator can help with hospital discharge, etc., and organising supports. Some participants have a plan, don't really understand it, they're overwhelmed by it, they're anxious about dealing with the NDIS. So you can also ask for a review and get supports coordination in your plan. And then there might be others who do have supports coordination, don't really use it, don't understand what it is, or wish to change providers. So anybody with a plan.
That's fantastic. So someone who's new to it and finding it, obviously trying to learn the ropes. Then someone who's maybe a little overwhelmed, even if it's down the track, they're finding it a little overwhelming, getting all those supports into that one spot. And then someone who's probably not exactly sure how they could be using it, or maybe they haven't really clicked with their support.
Yeah, that's right. So it's really for everybody, and it's really beneficial to have those questions about your NDIS plan answered.
So Renata, what do you get from a service like this?
So we really help people to understand what they can and can't do. So for instance, it could be something relatively simple, like organising some low-cost assistive technology for somebody, or it could be a little bit more complicated, like looking into specialist disability housing. So we need to look in the plan, see what they can get and what they need, and then we go from there.
So taking a lot of the guesswork out of it, making sure that you're up to date with your funding, and making sure that the right decisions are being made specifically for you your funding and in line with the NDIS rules.
Yeah, that's right. So we always review service agreements and we monitor budgets and we make sure that they're being invoiced correctly pertaining to the particular service that they're getting. So we keep on top of all of that. So we're taking that uncertainty away around, should I use this provider or not? Is this one okay? Are they billing me correctly? Can they do this? So a supports coordinator is really the middleman between the participant and the provider and the NDIS to make sure that it's all being done legitimately while at the same time maximising the funding.
That's fantastic. So this role sounds like there is a huge amount of information and areas that you need to be accountable. How do I keep my support coordinator accountable?
I think the key element is communication. It's really important that the support coordinator listens to the participant and understands their situation so that they can then help them find the relevant support. So a support coordinator isn't about telling you this is the support you should use. It's about helping the participant navigate that and making their own choices. So it is all about choice and control. So we can guide and we can say, well, okay, I think this service might be appropriate and I think this support might be really beneficial. Let's have a look at that. And it's working with them so they can call the provider themselves and ask the questions that are relevant to them, but we're also helping them implement that. And so as a supports coordinator, we're neutral. We have no loyalties to any particular provider. It's just about which provider suits the participant the best.
That's fantastic. So eventually, if a participant wanted to, they could start sort of weaning off a bit of that support from you, knowing that they've learned more about the NDIS and feel more confident about what they have to do.
Exactly. Great. And that's why we're sort of along for the ride. We're there to teach and to show and to assist, to ask questions, make sure things like service agreements and whatnot and invoicing is all going well and okay, and that they're actually being invoiced for the services that they're being provided. So while they are really involved in the actual organisation of their support, we're there to lend a hand and guide them through it.
How empowering. So just quickly, what's the difference between a plan manager and a support coordinator?
So put very simply, a plan manager is the financial administration of the plan.
Right.
So they receive the invoices and they send them off to the NDIS to claim from the person's plan. Okay. A supports coordinator is actually the one organising the supports and the services that the plan manager pays for.
Okay, so a support coordinator would then send their invoices to the plan manager.
Yeah, that's correct. And if the plan manager has, queries about the invoices or they think something doesn't look quite right, then they go back to the supports coordinator and say, hey, I've just flagged this. Can you have a look at it?
Cleans it up. Thank you very much. So Renata, how do we get started with support coordination through Spinal Life Australia?
So it's super easy. If you're new to the NDIS, you just ask your planner or your LAC to put supports coordination into the plan, and then you just contact our customer engagement team. Same thing if you currently have supports coordination but you want to switch, then you just contact our customer engagement team and we can get started.
Thank you so much for coming along.
You're welcome.
So if you want to know more about support coordination through Spinal Life Australia, please contact our customer engagement team. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.